and as currently packaged. The elephant that has come in the room and is breaking all the china is AI. So a lot of things we thought we would do because we went to school can basically be done by AI.
Artificial intelligence.
Yes. Now, that introduces a challenge. Some people are thinking it will eat jobs. No, it will make the world even better. But what kind of person now do we have? I've been arguing with my colleagues at the university. What kind of person is now required? The world is moving towards people, first of all, who have the ability to adapt. So that if you are working somewhere, you don't say, I was trained this, and if you give me another assignment, let me go home. Let me go to court. Yeah. No, you should have the capacity to adapt. Okay? But more critical, the world is moving towards what we are calling creativity and originality. Children of the future will be children who will be using their creative faculties. So it's a question of originality, not a question of knowledge that is packed in you. Now, back to your question in terms of interviewing, even today, I get very disappointed when we are recruiting people for very big jobs in this country. We ask people go to KRA and bring tax compliance. Yes. What has tax compliance got to do with workers' ability? The taxman should follow work if he has a problem. Go to DCI. What is that? Go to Credit Reference Bureau, though now I hear they have. And they stop there. So it is your degrees, and then those 6 things they demand of you, other 6 or 5, and it stops there. Rarely do you see anybody in an interviewing panel. I saw Grand Mullah Ahmed Nasir trying to do what should be done in an interview when they were vetting judges, when they were interviewing for the, actually not vetting, interviewing for the Supreme Court and something like that. You never see anybody in an interview like when they were interviewing the current formation, the judicial and so on and so forth, and the IBC and the rest. You don't see people seeking to get somebody who can stand out from those who have appeared for the interview. And therefore, your question is very valid, because if everybody is going to have the qualification, then we are going to get into a problem. Maybe we shall toss the coin.
Like everybody now, yeah, this is it's up to Fed, because the question also, not even the job market, even in schools, we have everyone scoring A.
Yes.
And you are also jostling for that, entry to high school.
In Liberia or another country, is it Liberia? They got tired of these too many scores, A's, A. And then they said no. To join our university, I think they just have one university or 2, you'll do an exam. Somebody floated that idea here last year.
Yeah.
Do you know nobody passed? I think it's Liberia, about a couple of years ago. Not many years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. They say, you will do an exam. We shall not rely on your form, on your school certificate. Kuja fanya mtihani hapa.
But that even is what I think Strathmore used to do that.
No, it does it.
It does it even today when we wanted to get into accountancy.
You don't join Strathmore because you have passed and you have an A. You do their entrance exam. Yeah?
Yes.
And similarly to a number of universities, including courses like in Daystar Laws, you come with your A, but we will interview you. We don't just admit you because you have an A. We have to interview you and give you an oral and a written exam. Yeah, and that way we'll assess your stability. So there's something happening.
But I think even that assessment is a bit skewed, because if we've been reading to pass, we cram. Because I wait for the last minute, 2 minutes. I cram and I'll get my A.
Yes, fair enough. And this is what he's saying, and on this one we are in agreement. That if we are looking for just A's and grades, then we already have people with them, and how they got them may not even be an issue. Whether they understand anything because they have an A may even not be the case, but they might have crammed. We also know they might have even stolen the exam. There are many ways in which an A can be procured. Fair enough. Kenya, there are many ways. The issue that we are saying, and perhaps we are agreeing with him, is that what is it that we look for when you are looking for an employees, or when you are interviewing? The papers have already given you an in. So whether you have the papers or not should not be the issue. The issue now is what skills? Emotional intelligence, ability to, your people skills, your temperament, because there are many things that you could be a very bright fellow, but you can't work with others. You have emotional imbalances, and if we bring you in a team, you'll be more of a distractor than a team player. So those are all important. But having said that, we have a long way to go. We need, and sometimes when I listen to Herman, he looks like he's not a Kenyan, but he is. We have this hard mentality. Listen to us or rather watch us when anything comes into town. There was a time we were all going for quails. We were, we're all there. Yeah. So anything that happened, we are all there. We just move like a herd. Small.
The time there was a Kasnev herding as well. Everyone wanted to be an accountant.
An accountant, yeah. So,
and CPA.
And that's why even our politics is a hard mentality. Now we all go this way or we all go that way. So it is defining. We are defined. And perhaps that's our weakness, or I don't know whether it's our strength, that's our weakness. That we just move with a fad, we move with what is showing, we don't have any principles. Brian here comes and starts telling us that he's now the mightiest prophet of God. We follow him. He tells us to fast, and he doesn't fast himself. He says, no, he has to eat a little so that he can keep alive. We are easily manipulated, and we are very gullible as a society.
Mm-hmm. All right, we need to wind up on this. Brian.
As we wind up, I think let's not lose the debate. I know where Martin and Professor comes from. Many times, when they die, they want their eulogy to say that I was a professor.
Are you there to hear?
People actually undertake degrees for purposes of eulogy.
Eulogy?
Yeah.
I will not help you. We'll even...
Believe you me, what we're trying to say is that times are changing. Mm-hmm. And when times are changing, we have to change with time. These days, a long time ago, when you told your parent that you want to be a TikToker, Aman Manyora will step on you thoroughly.
Or a musician.
Or a musician.
Yes.
Or a content creator.
Even a footballer.
Or a disc jockey.
I was a good goalkeeper until my grandfather pushed me out of it.
Or an actress or an actor. Your parents would really step on you.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to say is that times are changing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to change with time.
Yeah.
If you look at people who have made money in the entire world, look at Mark Zuckerberg. Mm-hmm. He just sat down and said, these human beings, they want a sense of belonging. They want to socialize. And the guy is raking millions. Look at the owner of Apple, Microsoft, name it. So as we are pushing our people to get degrees that are not relevant, and that is what Professor is saying, let us ensure that we create skills and knowledge that will be relevant to the interest of our country.
Indeed.
And not just in our country, but also to ensure that we tap on other resources across the world.
Right, let's take a short break on that particular note, because even as we're having this particular interesting debate on academia and the diploma disease and the degree disease as well, is President Ruto also living in the current epoch of time, if you may see what he's actually urging the multinational companies to consider the issue raised by local leaders on behalf of residents who have been laid off due to technology. And we're talking about the tea pickers and the artificial intelligence and machinery right now that we're living in. So is it about political expediency, or is it about also the survival of the people of Kericho? How will that be exceedingly beneficial to the people of Kericho? We take a short break right now. Of course, that was not the subject of our debate, but we have to talk about the current issues also in the society as it is right now, because even Gallup has come up with a survey that 83% of Kenyans are just going to the office, looking at the clock and twiddling their thumbs. They are not working. We take a short break.